Hello everybody, this is Dr. Cole. It's Sunday afternoon, September 4th, and we're now entering week 3 of Political Science 1013 on the 8-week schedule for the fall 2022 term. Okay everybody, we're through with our first exam now. We're going to move on to exam 2, which will be 2 weeks from tomorrow as I'm speaking to you. Many of you will be seeing this Monday, Labor Day, tomorrow, the 5th. So it will be 2 weeks from today, if you look at it, Monday the 5th. Monday, September 19th for exam 2, the midterm exam, which will cover units 3 and 4 on mass media and the Constitution. That'll be the material for the midterm exam, exam 2, on Monday, September 19th. We're moving through this material quickly. We have only 8 weeks. So every 12 days or so, we're looking at an exam to get everything in. Okay. So the units to be covered for the midterm exam are Unit 3 on the mass media and Unit 4 on the Constitution. Let me say just a word about the mass media. But before I do that, keep in mind, of the 2 units, the Constitution unit is much longer. I'll have a few more remarks about that next week. But keep in mind, I've sent a message out to you emphasizing that you have a lengthy reading assignment from the text for Unit 4. You should be sure to look closely at Chapter 2. The topics covered in 3, 4, and 5, civil rights, civil liberties, and federalism, we will try to cover, but relatively briefly in my class notes for Unit 4. Note that you're also assigned the appendix to the textbook, which includes several pages from the appendix, which includes the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and especially 2 of the Federalist Papers, numbers 10 and 51. Please set aside some time to read those through. They are summarized. We attempt to summarize those and hit the high points of them in Unit 4. Okay, so we'll have more to say about Unit 4 on the Constitution next week. Let me just say this about the mass media unit, Unit 3. It is a relatively brief unit. A couple of things we try to do there. We try to look at the different kinds of media. Okay? And nowadays, the big issue is between old media and new media. It looks like new media is pushing old media out to some extent. To exactly what extent remains to be seen. That's still part of an ongoing shakeout, shall we say. New media would include internet-based and also social media, of course. Old media refers largely to print and broadcast media. Now, old media is very important because the number one source of news for most people remains television news, although that is changing. Furthermore, much of the news we read in new media often was dug out by reporters for the print media, especially newspapers. So old media is still important, but old media is losing ground to new media. And so one of the things we try to do in this unit is to lay out and compare and contrast the significance of the various sectors of the media. Then we try to finish the unit up with a discussion of issues that arise in news coverage. We have to have the media because much of what we know about the politicians and the institutions of government is mediated to us by the media. Otherwise, we wouldn't have much knowledge of it at all. But the activities of the communications media are controversial. And one subject that has dogged the media for a number of decades now is a question of whether the media are biased. And in what direction are they biased? And what does the bias consist of? Okay, now you'll find that discussed as we wind up the material for Unit 3 as you look at the class notes. All right, so that is what we're trying to do in Unit 3. We'll have more to say about Unit 4 next week. Everyone, the exam is scheduled for the 19th. Next week, I think we will try to get in, not this week, but next week, we'll try to get in the second of our 3 discussions we're going to attempt to have. And I anticipate the subject matter will have something to do with free speech, which, as you may be aware, comes up and is protected by the First Amendment to the Constitution. So that's how free speech is connected to the Constitution. All right, so a little bit of a reprieve from discussions and exams this week, but please look through the Unit 3 class notes and try to at least begin on the class notes for Unit 4 and the very lengthy textbook assignment that you have there for Unit 4, which is the lengthier of the 2 units we have for the upcoming midterm exam. Then we'll look at a discussion, not this week, but next week, leading up to our next exam, the midterm, on Monday, September 19th. So we'll be talking to you once again a week from now at this time, and we'll be concentrating on Unit 4 on the Constitution at that time. So good luck, study hard, take it easy. We'll talk to you once again a week from now at this time.